Stage number one, this is startup. This is the AKA not bringing in any revenue yet. Yes, it can be overwhelming, but this is where you really want to focus on laying a solid brand foundation, doing your research, getting your messaging right. It's reaching out to people who could be potential clients simply to get feedback. Getting, if it's a logo, simple, getting your social media presence, that's the quickest and easiest, least, in fact, there's no expense to setting that up. Simple things like great bios with Linktree in there that can lead them multiple places, but truly understanding where you need to be to get your presence out. Your website, yes, that can be a part of it, but don't do that until you get your messaging right, or you're truly going to be wasting time, and you don't want to be wasting time or resources in this stage. It is so important to get these things set up, or else you're going to have to backtrack. And then, as I said, it's time and money wasted. So make sure that if you're in the startup stage, you get those things done. Then stage number two, this is the survival stage. You've got an offer, maybe you've got a couple of offers. You're pretty much still doing everything by yourself, social media and all of that. You're starting to make money, but it can still be that feast or famine because it isn't necessarily consistent client time. So this is why be really focused with your time. Start to map out your processes, because that's in the next phase when you really want to systematize. This is where test out, get your marketing strategy. You should know your content pillars. You should have all of that done and really be getting yourself out there and marketing heavily. It's going to depend on where your ideal client is spending the most time, what platforms are best. You should have an email marketing platform set up and ready to go, consistent messages. You know how to nurture leads. You know how to find your ideal leads. You know how to nurture those leads into paying clients and really starting to track to see what's working and what's not. Then step number three, this is systematizing. Systematize yourself, because you got to do that before you get to grow and scale. This is where look at the automations, consider what tech platforms, and I keep having people say, help me out on tech platforms. I promise my live video next week is going to be on tech and how to do tech stacks to save yourself time. But when you do that and you really start to look at systematizing, this is what's going to help you maximize your time. The biggest hang up I see in this spot is learning how to delegate and letting go of control. I used to be a huge control freak. You cannot do that if you're going to move on to the next stage. So systematizing is important. And then stage four is grow and scale. It's an exciting place to be. It's, that stage where you could be bringing on team members. You could be bringing on somebody to duplicate you, really expanding your offers. You have consistent clients. So now it's a matter of figuring out time and resources, where your zone of genius is, so you can plug into that and spend most of your time there. So how do you know where your business is, whether it is in pure startups phase or it's systematizing? The answer lies in tracking your metrics. You got to go back and say, what am I doing? Have I done all the steps? Am I actually tracking what's working and what's not? If you feel like you're constantly putting fires out and nothing's working, there's a good chance you're in survival stage. So that's why, as I said, go back, make sure you've got your foundation set up, and then you're there. But if you have a plan, you're steadily moving forward, you're seeing clients come on board, then that means that you're starting to get into that systematize and growth stage. No matter what stage, you're in the right place where you need to be right now.